Imagine holding a rope tied to 10 different things at once: your job, your money, your partner's emotions, your children's future, your reputation, your health, the economy, the opinions of others, the unexpected events of tomorrow. You grip the rope tightly, afraid that if you loosen your hand even slightly, everything will fall apart. Your muscles tense. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your mind refuses to rest. You call this responsibility. You call this strength. But your body calls it stress. Why is it that the more we try to control life, the more anxious and exhausted we become? At first glance, control feels safe. Control promises certainty. If I plan enough, prepare enough, predict enough, nothing will go wrong. The desire to control is deeply human. It comes from our survival instinct. In a chaotic world, the brain constantly scans for threats, and control feels like protection against uncertainty. But here is the paradox. The world is far more unpredictable than our minds are willing to accept. There are two categories in life: things we can influence and things we cannot. The problem is not that we try to control what we can. The problem is that we often try to control what we cannot. Other people's reactions, the outcome of every effort, random events, the passage of time, the past, even the future. When we attach our peace to outcomes we cannot guarantee, tension becomes inevitable. Psychologically, control creates an illusion of safety, but illusions require constant maintenance. The more you try to control, the more variables you must monitor, the more possibilities you must calculate, the more scenarios you must prepare for. Your brain enters a state of hypervigilance. It refuses to relax because it believes danger is always one mistake away. Control turns life into a never-ending responsibility. There is also the emotional cost. When things do not go according to plan, and they inevitably won't, we interpret it as personal failure. I should have prevented this. I should have known. I should have done more. The need for control often hides perfectionism, and perfectionism quietly whispers that mistakes are unacceptable, that uncertainty is weakness, that rest is irresponsible. This mindset keeps the nervous system activated, cortisol rises, muscles tighten, sleep becomes lighter. The body stays prepared for a threat that may not even exist. Control also damages relationships. When we try to control others, even subtly, it creates resistance. People want autonomy. They want space to make their own decisions. The tighter we hold them, the more they pull away. This creates conflict, and conflict increases stress, so we tighten further, and the cycle continues. There is another layer. Control often masks fear: fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of chaos, fear of not being enough. When we feel uncertain inside, we attempt to stabilize the outside. But external stability cannot permanently calm internal insecurity. No amount of planning can eliminate the unpredictable nature of life. Ironically, trying to eliminate uncertainty increases our awareness of it. The brain is not designed to handle infinite possibilities. When you attempt to control everything, you overload your cognitive capacity. Decision fatigue appears. Overthinking becomes constant. Small issues feel large because your mental bandwidth is already exhausted. You become tense, not because life is necessarily worse, but because you are carrying too much psychological weight. There is also something deeper. Control reduces presence. When you are obsessed with managing tomorrow, you are absent from today. Your mind lives in hypothetical futures. What if this goes wrong? What if I fail? What if they leave? These imagined scenarios trigger real physiological stress responses. Your body reacts as if the threat is happening now. You suffer not from reality, but from prediction. And predictions are endless. The more we try to guarantee outcomes, the more fragile we become. Because control is binary. Either it works, or it doesn't. But life operates on probabilities, not guarantees. When your sense of safety depends on certainty, you will always feel unstable. Because certainty is rare. Acceptance, on the other hand, works differently. Acceptance does not mean passivity. It does not mean giving up effort. It means recognizing the limits of your influence. It means acting where you can and releasing where you cannot. This shift reduces internal resistance, and resistance is what amplifies stress. Stress is not only about difficulty, it is about fighting reality. When reality differs from expectation, tension arises. The stronger your expectation of control, the stronger the tension when life deviates. Consider water in your hands. If you hold it gently, some may slip through, but your hands remain relaxed. If you squeeze tightly, it escapes faster and your muscles ache. Life behaves similarly. The tighter we grip, the more strained we become. Research in psychology shows that people with a high need for control often experience more anxiety disorders. Not because they are weak, but because their tolerance for uncertainty is low. And uncertainty is unavoidable. Building tolerance for uncertainty is like building a muscle. It requires practice. Letting small things go. Allowing minor imperfections. Accepting that not every outcome defines your worth. True strength is not rigid control. It is flexible resilience. When something unexpected happens, a rigid mind breaks. A flexible mind adapts. Adaptation consumes far less energy than resistance. Acceptance reduces stress because it stops the internal battle between what is and what should be. You cannot control the weather, but you can choose how to dress. You cannot control others' opinions, but you can choose your response. You cannot control every outcome, but you can control your effort and your attitude. The more you shift focus from outcomes to actions, from certainty to adaptability, the lighter your mind becomes. Perhaps peace is not found in mastering every variable. Perhaps peace is found in trusting your ability to respond, not predict. In believing that you can handle what comes, even if you cannot control when or how it arrives. Trying to control everything is exhausting because it is a battle against reality itself, and reality always wins. But when you loosen your grip, when you allow life to move without demanding total certainty, something surprising happens. Your breathing slows, your shoulders soften, your thoughts quiet down. Not because life is suddenly perfect, but because you are no longer fighting it. Sometimes, the greatest control we can exercise is the choice to let go.